Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're reviewing one of my favorite cars, and certainly one of my favorite Ferraris, the 2015 Ferrari F12. Now, what makes this unique, it's got a V12 engine, 6.3 liter V12, producing 733 horsepower. If you follow the channel, we just did the 812 Superfast, which also has a V12, but 788 horsepower. That beautiful blue car sold. And DCH Acura in Verona just got this car in, so I drove down as soon as I could to film it for you guys. So we have the ceramic brakes, of course. All these Ferraris nowadays have ceramic brakes, and it's one of the last cars, I believe, to be designed by Pininfarina. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It actually may be the last one. Let me know down below. Beautiful car. This is actually like a mineral white color, and this is actually a factory color, and it looks gorgeous. Typically, I'm not big on white cars, but this looks amazing. You got huge rear tires here. You have 315 35/20s on these Pirelli P0s. I have P0s on my 911. Great tire. Again, you have the ceramic brakes. Let's take a look around the car. My favorite part of the F12 is actually the rear. I just think it looks amazing. It looks gorgeous with the two big lights. Here you have your Formula One style. I hear a rooster. Oh my God. A Formula One style fog light, which looks pretty awesome. You got that nice quad exhaust. I just put gas in the car. It probably gets terrible gas mileage. Gas is $5.75 here in Jersey, $5.65. It was pushing $6, but gas is pretty cheap. That is a rooster. Oh my God. Gas is pretty cheap considering. You just press the button to pop this out. There's actually no gas cap, believe it or not. And again, beautiful car. I just love this design with this long hood. And there's some surprising handling features of this car, which we'll go over when we take it for a test drive towards the end of the video. All right, so let's look. You came here for the engine. Stop, rooster. You're ruining my video. All right, so let's start with the engine first. So to unleash the engine, beautiful blue interior. I think it actually goes well with the white. The engine release is underneath here, so it almost looks like it would be an adjustment for the steering wheel, but it's not, because this is an adjustment for the steering wheel. And then you pull it once, and then it's pretty easy to do. There's one latch right here in the center. I just did it a second ago. Now, of course, I can't find it. Now that, there we go. And then it goes up on the hydraulics. So 6.3 liter V12. So essentially it's front mid-engine, just like the 812, because here's the center axle right here. So the intake is on the front part of that, and the engine is essentially 100% of it is behind it. So this would qualify as a front mid-engine car, and that helps for weight distribution, and it helps for handling. Beautiful. Can't wait to start this up for you guys. And you also, for the signals, you actually have sequential signals here. There's about 8 lights when you turn left or right, so that looks pretty cool as well. Now, if you buy this car, you probably belong to a country club, and you probably like to play golf. And you should be able, let's see, I've never opened an F12 trunk before, so this is a first for me. It's the top. It's decently deep because remember you could put stuff here. Could you get golf bags? Golfers, it kind of goes off to the side here. Oh, so it looks like you have everything that comes with the car, the car cover and all the stuff you get when you buy the Ferrari new. I think you could definitely fit at least one set of golf clubs in here. I don't know about 2. So let me know in the comments if you know, if you can. I could probably fit my hockey bag here, take the skates and helmet, put it in the front seat, and then I think I could fit the rest of the bag right there. All right, I think we've seen enough, so let's take a look at the interior. You got your Ferrari symbol here. All right, beautiful interior. It tells you, so you know you bought the expensive one, F12 Berlinetta. So these cars on the used market sell for about 100, 150 less than the 812. And again, this is a 2015 model, but it does have a dual clutch transmission. All right, so let's turn the steering wheel here. So we turn the wheel just like the S2000, then press the engine start, and you hear that beautiful 6.3 liter V12 come to life. And now you have the gauges on the side here. So this actually does not show you your speed here on the tachometer, which is good for recording videos, but it'll show it kind of on the side here. 93 degrees, hot day in New Jersey, and it's still like 10 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it's 11 by now, so big powerful air conditioning. You have a front lift kit, and what's great about it is the button's right here, and then I'll tell you the front lift kit's moving up. takes a minute or so. So unlike my 570S McLaren, it's already up, and we're going to put it down now. Unlike my McLaren, where you had to go through all the menus and you're holding up traffic, there's a button right here in the perfect spot. Your air conditioning controls are really easy. This air works great. I drove it to get the car here. You have your automatic button. You have your reverse, so you would press reverse to go into reverse. It'll little beep there. You could put it back, take it out of reverse. We're gonna go into first gear, and we do that by the paddles. So the paddles, just like any Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin, are fixed to the column. So because they're fixed to the column, they have to be larger, because if we were turning this wheel like this, we would still have to be able to reach over to that column. So I always learned in racing school, Skip Barber Racing School, you bring your hand down here and you turn. So now you're 9 and 3 in the turn, so you could press it. A lot of people complain they're turning this way and they can't reach the paddle. What I always learned for turns, you're seeing the turn coming up, whether it's an autocross or racetrack, bring your hand down to make a left turn, and now that your hands are at 9 and 3 in the middle of the turn, which is ultimate stability into the turn, and then you can press that paddle. So upshift is on the right side, downshift is on the left side. We just put half a tank of gas in here, so we should be good to go. You have the cup holder. I think this is the same cup holder that the A12 had. It looks very familiar to me. Beautiful interior. Some of the buttons are a little hidden, so the mirror switches are down here, and to adjust your mirrors, go over here. Here you have bumpy road mode, which we definitely need, should be standard in New Jersey, and I think it is. We're gonna drive in race mode. So you have wet, which is kind of like the most, I guess, most aggressive traction control, stability control. Sport is really normal in a Ferrari, so you typically drive in sport. Race mode gives you a little sharper throttle response, and it kind of stiffens up things, and it gives you a little more leeway in the traction. And then you could change the traction control off for the stability. We're not going to do that because it's not my car, and I probably can't afford to buy it. Parking brake is hidden all the way down on the side here. This has the optional JBL audio system, which sounds great. I can't play it for you, or I couldn't monetize this video. I love the vents here. I just think this is classic. I love how Mercedes does it too. I think these are really cool, and they're pretty powerful vents for sure. All right, so let's take this V12 bad boy for a ride. So now we're in auto mode. As you can see, it says auto right here. And if I press it again, it won't say anything. That means we're in manual mode, and we actually have to shift it. Signals are on to the left and on the right on the steering wheel. All right, so let's go here. Bright, sunny, 92-degree day in New Jersey. And here we have our gauges, and miles per hour is right here, so it's kind of hard to see it. So now as you know, this is a real bumpy road. If you've seen in my videos, and we have about 1,000 of them on YouTube now, almost 1,000 different cars. So if you're bored on a rainy day, you got 1,000 car reviews you could look at. So with the bumpy road mode here, this road actually feels pretty smooth. And that's what I love about the Ferrari bumpy road mode. In our 488 Spider video, it achieved smoothness on this road, the A12 and now the F12. Now, if you want a V12 Ferrari, let's call it a modern one, your choices are the 599 or this. Now, the 599 is a single clutch transmission and is like a 2008 vintage, give or take. Now, they share some parts with the Enzo engine, so it has gone up dramatically in the last couple of years. Your also choice is the FF, which we've also reviewed on this channel. This is a really good, the FF, I guess, is the cheapest way to get into a V12, and you have the part-time all-wheel drive and also a back seat if you have kids for the ultimate kind of dad wagon. To me, that's the clown shoe. It's like the Z3M Coupe, but obviously much bigger with a V12 engine. But I think this may be the sweet spot because you get the dual clutch, which you do in the FF because it's the same vintage. Now I'm driving in manual mode to be a little smoother in automatic mode, but it would also upshift more to get me into the higher RPM sooner. This car only has about 3,300 miles on it, so it feels like a brand new car. I just love the interior on these V12 Ferraris. Just love the shape of this car. It's such a good looking car. All right, so we're gonna keep it in manual mode because Ferrari, for God's sakes. The sound that this car makes It does attract attention because it is a very loud car. I try not to downshift by these cyclists because I don't want to spook them, you know. I try to go slow. And of course, on our favorite road, we'll do it again. Don't worry, we'll turn around and do it again. There's going to be a big truck going slow here on these narrow, tight turns. So far, initial impressions, it handles really well. What I like about this car, and you'll see in a second, it actually has oversteer to it because it's rear drive. It kind of overwhelms the wheels a little bit just for like a split second before the traction control takes over. And you do have some oversteer. Now, I'm sure if you drive this ham-fisted or you're not a good driver, you'll experience understeer as well in a tight turn. Let's just see on this straightaway here. All right, we'll floor it. And that's why you buy a Ferrari. That's why you spend, you know, $250,000, $300,000 to get one of these. Now, because that truck kind of ruined our turns there, I'm going to turn around and go back. All right, so let's take those turns one more time. You know, before this falls. In race mode. The handling is pretty flat. Again, the most surprising thing here is that this car actually oversteers. You think a V12 Ferrari is going to be bought by some millionaire, I'm sure, and they're going to have some safe understeer. Not really. If you push this really hard into a turn, yeah, you'll get some understeer, but with all this power, 733 horsepower going to the ground, you actually are getting oversteer because it's a rear drive car. It's cut in front of a Tesla. Race mode is where it's at on this car. So the dual clutch is very responsive. It shifts very quickly. Again, this is 2015, so Ferrari, like Porsche, already knew what they were doing in dual clutches. So no worries there. I would take this. I haven't driven a 599. I'm going to have to at some point. But I think if you're going to spend all this money on a Ferrari, you better spend a little more money and get the dual clutch transmission. Meaning a newer Ferrari, like the 458, the FF, the F12, so you get that dual clutch. You don't have a choice, single clutch or dual clutch, but obviously the older ones were single clutch. I'll tell you, the F430, the single clutch, I love that car. Wasn't too bad in that. And the nimbleness of that car, I think, makes you forget that the transmission isn't as good as this car. Now the V12 just gives you a killer amount of torque. You got passing power for days with this car. I just think this is one of the best looking Ferraris on the market. It's easy to forget about the F12 because the A12 Superfast is so good in some of the modern Ferraris, but you can't go wrong with this car. I can't stress it enough. If you could afford one of these cars, you should definitely buy it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I enjoyed my time in the Ferrari F12. I hope you did. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We have over 1,000 videos now, car reviews. You can easily just type in Glenn's Car Collection, whatever car you're interested in, and I'm sure I've driven it. Let me know what car you want me to review next, and if I get enough people looking for it, I'll try to make it happen. Thanks again for watching.